is generating fresh content and and what's this relevance in search results on a weekly basis. Finally, we're here in direct marketing. This is I showed you that some landlords are posting on social media saying that we are contacting landlords directly to find deals. Okay, and here there's a question. I'm just going to read your question out loud. Yung link po ng Excel sheet po di po makita sa chat box. It's not a link. I attached the file directly. Okay, so I uploaded a file directly for the updated due diligence calculator, and have a look at that. Right, so where are we now? We are now on this page, okay? For the next 30 minutes, hopefully just 30 to 45 minutes, I'm gonna be showing you 3 specific strategies that a landlord might be delegating to you as a VA, and I'm basically telling these landlords that they do it with very few guidance or instructions. So lots of keen paying attention with me on this one, guys, because I'm going to show you step by step what these strategies are. Okay, so it's a simple system to follow in order for you to help find off-market deals for landlords. There are several strategies out there. I'm only going to show you 3 strategies. Okay, so I'm telling the landlords I am teaching my VA candidates just 3 strategies, but it's simple and it's easy to follow, and they only need very few instructions from you, not you as a VA, but you, them, the landlords. And so it's a simple step-by-step process. And I want you guys to follow me on this one. Okay, so what are these strategies? Okay, so I'm going to show you an instruction or order form that the landlords are going to be filling in, and then you receive this as an instruction form, and then you carry out one or maybe a combination of the 3 strategies that the landlord might be selecting and choosing for you to do. So these 3 strategies are a strategy that is finding properties that are sold subject to contract, finding probate properties, and finding properties that are unsold at auction. Okay, so these are the 3 strategies. Okay, I'm going to be discussing and explaining each strategy step by step. So don't worry, guys, I'm going to do it slow. You've got strategy 1, sold subject to contract properties. The acronym here that I put in there is explained on the previous slide, sold subject to contract. The next strategy is going to be, why is this all over the place? Probate properties. And then strategy number 3 are properties unsold at auction. I am going to give you another slide, another spreadsheet, sorry. And I'm going to type it here as a download link in the chat box. Sorry, I sent it as a direct message. It should be. There you go. Have a look at your chat box, guys. There is a link there for you to download. This is the exact spreadsheet that we're going to be using here today. You don't have to do it step by step and side by side with me right now. You might want to just be watching me explain how to use it. And then later on, if we have time, we will try and do an exercise wherein you can follow the process with me. I'm also going to upload the file as a as an attachment on the chat box in case you can't access the download link. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do this, guys. There's a download link in the chat box for the spreadsheet that I want you to be saving onto your machine so that you can follow the steps with me. If you can't access the download link, I've also attached the file itself onto the chat box. I need to see a raise of hands from just some of you, so I know that you have the files ready. Okay. Okay, great. We've got the files. Okay, most of you have got the files, so thank you for that. Someone's raised a hand. Yes, you have. Marian, would you like to unmute yourself so that you can ask me your question? Marian, can you hear me? You're raising your hands. You've got a question to ask. You'll need to unmute yourself so I can hear your question. Okay, I'm gonna assume you will want to be maybe typing your question in the chat box. You've got it. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. We shall, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my own file. Okay, this is a bit cumbersome. I don't know why it won't let me open it. Let's go back to the slides here. It's loading slowly, but we're getting there. Okay, so we're in our first strategy. Okay. It's just loading. Oh, we have to find that slide again. So here we are. The first strategy I'm going to show you is the sold subject to contract properties. So what we're going to find leads, generate leads for are properties that are sold subject to contract properties. So these are properties that someone else has already said they are going to buy directly. So it's already being sold, okay? But it's still going through a process of being sold. So it's not actually a property that's technically removed from the market, that the titles have changed, that the new owner has replaced the previous owner, and the titles have been legally changed into the new owner's names. These are properties that someone found on Rightmove or Zoopla and said, I like it, I'm going to make an offer on it. And then we saw earlier when we were visiting Rightmove, we've got some listings that said, we have now received an offer on this property for so-and-so amount, okay? So this means that technically someone is already buying this property. Someone is already in the process of buying this property. Now, where is the opportunity here for a property investor? Well, the opportunity is one, apparently, I'm not so sure exactly where the statistic is coming from, but apparently 1 out of every 3 properties being sold right now will fall through. So falling through is like a British idiomatic expression to say that it will not actually complete. There might be problems. There might be that the buyer actually has been refused a mortgage. So this buyer does not qualify to be given a mortgage by the bank. Um, Therefore, he's got to drop the sale. It could be that it turns out that after doing a survey on the property is not worth what it's asking for, and the bank does not want to lend on it. Or that the survey shows structural issues that wasn't there before, or not that it wasn't there before, that it wasn't discovered that it had before. Okay, so then the buyer says, sorry, I don't want to buy this property anymore. And so the property goes back into the market. Okay. So the opportunity here for the property investor is to catch those properties that fall through, because you can imagine that these are properties with sellers who will be extra motivated, additionally motivated, because they now have to put it back on the market. They have to restart the whole sales process, and they've got to be finding new interests again, doing viewings, and going through the whole process all over again. If the property investor catches these sellers of properties before they drop off the market, then they're in a position to be the first person that these sellers will go to and maybe say, right, okay, so I remember when I was selling this property, I was already in the process of selling it to this person, and I received a letter from this. What was your name? Where was that letter again? Remember, guys, this is direct marketing, okay? Oh, here's the letter, okay? What did he say? Oh, the letter says that for whatever reason, if the sale doesn't go through and you still want to sell the property, please contact me. Here's my details. Okay. So, what this lead generation strategy is about is to contact people who are in the position that they're already going through an exchange of the property. However, something happens and they need to put the property back on the market, and lo and behold, here's this landlord who's contacted this person to say, look, congratulations, you have found a great buyer, you have worked with a fantastic estate agent, and you've now got an offer on your property. But if something does happen, I'm here, give me a call. So your job here as a VA is to go on to Rightmove and Zoopla, find properties listed in the area that the landlord wants you to look into, and data scrape all the properties that are being that are under offer. They're being sold subject to contract. That is to say, it's not yet completed, subject to contract. That's why there's the term subject to contract. And find the details of all these property listings, and you are going to help the landlord contact these people directly. Okay, so you are not uh, this landlord is not calling the estate agent and making an offer on this property. That's He's already late for that. There's already an offer on this property. Okay, he he wants it, because if he does that, that's being on the market. He wants it off the market. Okay, off the market means that it's for all intents and purposes, it's no longer on the market because it was under offer. It was taken out of the market. It's already going through an exchange, but it falls through. So now, for all intents and purposes, it's now also off the market. Okay, so there's the opportunity there, guys. I'm going to get out of this slide because I'm going to show you this sheet right here. How do I remove this? Okay. So we have got here, you might want to open your own spreadsheet. You might just want to be watching me in the screen right here. We have got here a spreadsheet with several tabs. Down here is the SSTC strategy. Down here is the probate strategy. Then we've got the unsold at auction strategy, okay? Each one will have a separate tab. That is a blank tab. So this is where you're going to be entering all the data scraping exercises that you're going to do. Keep this format, guys, and I'll explain why. When I say format, I don't mean like font style or what. I mean the columns right here as they are, okay? And you've also got here, after the probate strategy, you've got the same blank sheet. Again, if you're going to be doing the probate strategy data scraping, all the data that you'll be scraping, you put them in this sheet right here. The other strategy, unsold at auction strategy, again, you will be putting the data that you scrape again onto this sheet, okay? I'm going to explain what this word means. Although it reads as stamp, it's actually pronounced. I thought it was pronounced as stamp, but it's actually pronounced just as you would pronounce the word stamp. Okay, it's just their clever way of getting a website, maybe a URL, okay, a domain name. So it's Stamp. Now, Stamp is a website where when you upload a CSV file, you can create a mailing list. And this is not an email mailing list. This is a physical mail mailing list, okay? So there's one letter template you put on there, and you select the mail recipients, and then Stamp as a business, this is the service that they provide. They will print out these letters automatically, frank them. Frank means it gets a post paid for it, and then they deliver it for you. So it's like an automated printing posting kind of service, okay? Which is a fantastic service for a VA who's in a different country, but the landlord has instructed them to contact these people with this letter. It's the same letter that everyone will receive, and you basically use the data that you scraped and generated to send this letter to, okay? So this is why we're calling it a direct marketing strategy to find off-market property deals. So we are going to start with the SSTC strategy. So in your instruction, you've got here, that is to say, you can save it as a bookmark or you can memorize the URL, but basically I'm saying you don't even have to memorize it. It's already there. You can click on that and it will take you to Rightmove and take you to Zoopla. I'll explain what land registry is later on. So let's try the example of Rightmove. We're on Rightmove right now. Sorry, I keep fiddling with my headphones. We are going to say, for example, Lincolnshire for sale. Okay. Okay. This is where you click on the include, under offer, and sold subject to contract. Okay. If you click on this question mark here, Rightmove explains exactly what that means. Sold subject to contract or under offer properties means that the homeowner has accepted an offer from a buyer, but the paperwork is not yet complete. Okay. It's a simple explanation and description. What that means is, like I explained earlier, we want only the sold subject to contract properties, okay? Because what we're hoping for is that a third of those properties will not go through, but we've already contacted these home sellers and we want them to ring us and to say, you sent me this letter some weeks ago. I was actually selling a property, and then unfortunately, the buyer pulled out because of such and such a reason. I'm putting it back on the market, but before I do, are you still interested in buying this property off me? So, it starts the conversation. Now, at this point, that's no longer your job. Unless you've got like a kind of sales training background, then you can talk through directly with the vendor. But in general, you as a VA, your job basically stops the minute you upload and order these letters to be sent out. Okay. Where were we? So what I'm going to show you here is that most these boxes will be filled in by the landlord. So like I said, this is going to be an order form, an instruction sheet. Okay. The property investor will be saying, okay, VA, I'm going to say as an example, Marian, I'm going to use Marian. Marian, please, I am wanting to do a sold subject to contract direct marketing strategy. This is my instruction. Can you go onto either Rightmove or Zoopla and find me and scrape all the home sellers that you can manage to scrape, okay? Okay, the instruction that your boss, let's say your boss's name is Anne. Anne has given you, Marian, this instruction, and it says here, no price minimum, I don't care, but I do want you to select maximum 80,000 pound properties, minimum 2-bed, maximum 3, etc. Further instructions. So again, you are going to receive this with these fields filled in. So this is a clear, specific instruction that you will receive. Terrace, yes, yes, yes. Yes, definitely. SSTC, sold subject to contract. Okay. She's not bothered whether there's a garden or parking. Definitely no new homes, retirement buying schemes. Auction, yes, put it in there. Oh, can you type in the keyword in need of? Okay. So you, Marian, you receive this by email or something, and then you go, great, let me do that. So you now go into Rightmove, and then the instructions were for you. Oh, why did I say Lincolnshire? Let's do Rotherham. Okay, the instructions said you go into Rotherham, South Yorkshire for sale. It actually says here maximum 80, beds minimum 2, maximum 3. Let's do that. This area only, max 80, 2, 3. Property type. Your boss is wanting you to look for houses, and it doesn't matter which kind of house it is. So we go for houses. Remember, we need to click sold subject to contract. And then we click on find properties. Okay. We got here 243 search results. There were some further filters that the landlord wants us to apply. Keywords in need of. Okay. So how do we find out if it's sold subject to contract? We've got that black box there that says sold STC. This one is not sold SCC. We're not interested in that, okay? So there are two things we can do right now is we can open each and every property that says sold subject to contract I'm just going to open 3, guys, for this exercise, because obviously we don't have time to go through each and every one. So we could be doing that. The landlord could be saying, do and scrape all of the sold subject to contract, okay? Or the landlord might actually give you an 2-step instruction when he'll say, can you, and you'll have to open an account with Rightmove, can you save the property for me first? That's step 1. Just save it. And I actually want to review them before you data scrape, okay? Because once you start data scraping, it's actually a long and tedious process. It might take you days. At the very least, it might take you a few hours to data scrape. So maybe the landlord doesn't want you to be wasting all that time yet. Maybe he wants to review it first. And so maybe step 1 is simply that you save it, and then he logs in the account and then unsaves the property that he doesn't want you to data scrape, and then gives you another instruction to say, go back onto Rightmove, data scrape what's there, because those are the properties that I want to contact. Okay, so let us assume for this exercise that these are the properties that the landlord's happy for you to data scrape. Okay, so we've got here, this tab is so annoying. I actually cannot see. Okay. So we've got here this property, Grange Lane, Maltby, Rotherham, Kilnhurst Road, Romosh, Mowbray Place, East Dean, Rotherham, South Yorkshire. Okay. So these are the properties that the landlord will want you to scrape the details of. Okay. Let's go back to the lead generation spreadsheet that I showed you. So remember this blank sheet where you will enter all your data scraping information. You need to be filling in all of these details. Now, in order for you to actually find the owner of the property, there is only one way to do that, and that is to go to land registry. Now, as I mentioned on day 1, land registry is, or was it day 2? Land registry is not a free service. So the landlord might be happy to pay for each and every search that you go on there. It's £3 per search. And to the landlord, that might be the price you pay. Okay, he might be happy to pay £3 per search, and the extra time it will take for you as the VA data scraping to search for all of these property owners. Or the landlord might just be happy for you to type in home seller right here, and you can just basically copy that for the rest of the entries. Okay, so the home seller will receive a mail, a physical mail, not an email, a mail in the post, and it doesn't have their actual name, address on the envelope. It just says home seller and then the address of the property. Okay, that might be fine. They might still open it. Okay, it's obviously going to be more effective if it's their actual name on there. Mr. Sash Patel, and that's the address, and then it's for me. They open it. Okay, that could be the case. So I'm just basically giving you 2 scenarios that might happen. The landlord might say, no need to find the names, or he might say, actually, I want for you to pay for each and every one, not for you to pay, but to go onto land registry and order, okay, each and every one of them. Okay, we are going to do both scenarios. So we've got here Grange Lane, Maltby, Rotherham. That's the only address we've got here. So we need to do some investigative work to find out the full address, because we need the house number, the street name, the city or the town, plus the main region, perhaps. But the most important one would also be the postcode. So remember, we did postcode finding in day one. We are going to be applying that today, okay? So what is the address in this one, guys? We've got, okay, sold subject to contract. We've got Grange Lane, Maltby, Rotherham. Okay, what do we need to know? House number and postcode. Thankfully, in this picture, we can actually see the house number. It says it's 58. Not all pictures have the house number on there, guys, okay? So I'm going to just be teaching you a few like sneaky strategies to find the house number. So we've got 58 Grange Lane, Maltby, Rotherham. We don't know the postcode, right? But because we've got the complete first line of the address, we know that we can find the postcode later on. So we'll just save that for now. Kilnhurst Road, Romarsh. Oh, sorry. Romarsh, okay. And then we've got here Mowbray Place. Okay. Let's see if we can apply some strategies to do some investigative work on this one. I cannot see from the pictures the house number. I cannot see looking at the bins. Sometimes the bins might have the house number painted on them. But it doesn't look like I'll be able to see it just based on the pictures alone. Okay, what I can do is I can go onto Google Maps. It says here 205 Kinhurst Road, but I want to look for the property that's actually for sale. If it's a short road, this might be enough of an exercise, but it looks like a very long road, so I'm not going to do it here with you guys. I'm going to find a different way instead. That is a very long road. Maybe, you know, sometimes it is the only way to find it. When Rightmove puts the marker there, it doesn't mean that that's where the property is. Sometimes it's a little bit maybe here or a little bit maybe there. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do that. It was this property, wasn't it? What's that property look like again? Okay, so it's kind of like a pebble wash exterior. There's a garage here. There's a metal gate and some wood timber fencing on there. I think this is that property. Okay. If I click on that, I think according to Google, that's 201 Kinhurst Road. But I want to be absolutely sure. So what I can do is check out the other houses. In the UK, the odd and even houses are on separate sides of the road. So odd numbers are on one side and even numbers are on another side. So you can be sure that if, okay, this one says 205. So it should be, then the one next to 201 is either 203 or 199. Okay. So I can't find. Again, this is time consuming. This is why it's, you know, for a landlord, they're motivated to delegate this task to you. Okay, this one says 198, 200. Okay, that's an even number. 196. So it's not very accurate, guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to show you a different way of finding the number, the house number. Okay, if we can't find it that way, another way would be to go onto Kilhurst Road Marsh, especially if, where's the market stats? It's because they changed, Rightmove changed the layout of the website. So I'm gonna go to house prices and go to Kinhurst Road Marsh. It's actually already given me the first line of the postcode, S62. All years, all property types, all tenures. And I am going to find the property here on Rightmove because this one will give you the house number. I don't think it's that one. There's lots of property here without a picture or a photo. This looks like it, but I don't think it is exactly the same. Okay, so this one says 221, okay, Kilnhurst Road. So what I'm going to get out of that is that that's near where the property we're looking at in question can be found. So what I might do, I'll make a note of that, is I might revisit the street view and count back from 221 back to our property to find out what the house number is. Okay, I know it's a long and tedious process. That is why I'm trying to say that this can be something that can be delegated and outsourced to a VA. Okay, so no luck with that one. So I am going to go back to the map view. Let's see. Two, 221 Kilnhurst Road, Romarsh, Rotherham. We keep using this yellow little man up there. If you've never used Street View before, you will be using it frequently. Okay, the arrow tells you where he's facing, okay? So I think that one is 221 Kilnhurst Road, because let's go. Okay, I'm gonna assume that you are following me, guys, and you remember what it looked like. That's, as far as I can remember, that's what 221 looks like. So I am now going to, if that is 221, I'm gonna move up here. And if the numbers are going down, that means that we are getting closer to the property that we wanted to view. That one says 224. It's hard to tell if that's moving up or moving down. I know it's an upper number. 219. Okay, so the numbers are moving down. So this one is from 221. Now it's moving down to 219. 213. Okay. So I'm gonna move further down And I think the property we were looking at, (196), I think we might have to trace our way back this way. That's not the property we're looking for. This is 219, as we know. Okay, I think we're moving just a little bit too far now. Let's go back here and let's retrace our steps. Sometimes there's a brochure in there. It says error, sorry. Market information, so that's where it was sold. Okay, for sale or under offer. Okay, we might need to ditch this one for the time being, guys. It's hard to find the property number on this one. The thing to do could be if the landlord or your boss allows you to do that, you might be given some kind of phone credits to ring the estate agent directly and to get the house number. If not, it could just be, okay, out of like hundreds of properties that the landlord wants you to scrape, you can just say, all right, let's give up on this one for the time being, okay? We've got this one, Mulberry Place, East Dean. I think we've already copied it, haven't we? So this one, we will say TBC, okay? Mulberry Place, East Dean, Rotherham, South Yorkshire. By the way, we still can find the full postcode on this one by using Postcode Finder. I'll show you how later on. Again, this is a property that's sold subject to contract. We are going to see if there is a some pictures that we can find. We are going to find out if there is a brochure that the estate agent might have uploaded on here. EPC, I'll show you what the EPC looks like. Sometimes the EPC has the house number. No, no house number. Okay, that's fine. Let's look at some pictures. We might see a picture outside. No, we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to memorize what this house looks like. That one has a house number. It's too hard to see, but hopefully if we go onto Google Maps, we might be able to find the house number. Thankfully, it's a short road. We'll start at the top of the road. And we are going to find our house this way. You think, guys, if we passed by it already? Let's look at these pictures again. Okay, there is meant to be like a front yard with a tree in front. It could be this. It seems like it's the only, is that? Okay. So do you remember that the neighbor had that kind of house number plaque? I think it's that one. I don't know if you can see it with me, guys. I think this is our house. It's hard to say what the house number is. Okay, Google doesn't say what the house number is, so that's a bit disappointing. Google seemed to have brought us to a different street. So we're back here. I can't see any bins with house numbers, and I can't see any house numbers either. There's a bin there, but there's no house number. Okay, so it's possible that we are also going to be unsuccessful with this one. But what we're going to do is postcode finder. Okay, first we are going to do this 58 Grange Lane. And you've got the full address and postcode. So we're happy with the first entry, okay? And then we've got Romarsh. It was a very long road. I think we were about the 200 mark. So I think we were 212. Oh. 212. 660 S62 5LF. 5LF. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try this trick, guys, is to type in 212 and see. Okay, Google said that that is 212. So we might need to be doing kind of 201, didn't we say? So, I mean, that was my original guess, 201 Kinhurst Road. So I think we can assume that it is 201 Kinhurst Road. I mean, if it does go to somebody who's not selling their house, but then they're thinking about it, who knows? You just literally contacted a person who could still be a potential client. So what's the worst case scenario? You sent it to the wrong address, but this person could still be selling their houses later on. So, you know, you still contacted directly someone who might be a potential customer, okay? Now we've got Mowbray Place. Mowbray Place. It cannot find it. Okay. Mowbray Place. Here it is. It didn't like it that I typed in East Dean for some reason, so I'm just gonna try Mowbray Place. It seems that the addresses are quite uniform, so 2 UN. S652UN. S652UN. Okay. I am going to go back to this Mowbray Place and I am going to look at the inaccurate map that Rightmove says it's at. But what it is, because we know that this house, the house that we're looking at, is actually about here rather than where they put the marker on. So let's go back here. And if we can just see one house number, right, that one looks like a number 4. It could be a number 9. That one looks like maybe a number 7. So I'm, like I said, a bit of resourcefulness and a bit of investigative work. We are going to find out what it is. 7, if that says 9 and that's 7, I'm going to assume this is 8. So 9, 8, 7, 6. 7, 6, 5, 4. If my assumption is correct, the house that we're looking for is number 4, Mowbray Place. I am wrong because that's not what the house looks like, but it's on the other side. Okay, let's go back here. So apparently it's not number 4 Mowbray Place. I am going to do it a different way. That one is a number that might be 13. It could be 13. This one, there's a number here. It's ready. You know, Google usually tells you the house number when you click on it, but it's not doing it this time. I'm sorry I'm spending too much time on this, guys, but I know that you will be asking me these questions later on anyway, so I might as well go through it now. If you do need to leave, that's fine by me. I know that you can just rewatch the whole session using the recorded video. Now, that looks like a 2-digit number that says 13, and this one, it's also a 2-digit number, although it is hard to say and see what it is. Right, let's keep looking, guys. We don't want to give up. Okay, I think we're back to the same street, the same side of the road. 13. I am going to say 9 Mowbray Place. Let's not change the picture, has it? 15. Okay, the difficulty with this is that even the Google picture is not changing, and I don't know if it's because Google is not particularly liking this kind of roundabout cul-de-sac situation. I'm gonna do it one last time, and if I still can't, I am gonna just make an assumption on what this house number might be. Really is hard. Let's go back to the listing, the property listing. And we're gonna see if we can get some more information here. Not quite. We can look. Oh, just one second. sometimes it's actually listed on the floor plan itself. But I think the estate agents are being a little bit too clever on this one. I am gonna see sold house prices, okay? I'm gonna use a postcode to do that. 11 Mowbray, 1 Mowbray, no picture. Oh, we didn't have to spend all that time. It's right here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Number 9 Mowbray Place is the exact same property. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We've got 3 full addresses. We've got 58 Grange Lane, 201 Kilnhurst Road, number 9 Mowbray Place. And what we're going to do is use the lead generation spreadsheet and type in the full address. Okay, so we've got 58. You can manually type this or you can copy and paste. Mopi, Rotherham, S 667DN. And then we've got 201 Kilhurst Road, East Dean, Rotherham again. No, nalito ako. It's not East Dean. I was looking at the other. Rotherham, sorry, Rawmarsh. 62 5LF. 9 Mowbray Place, East Dean, Rotherham, S 652UN. Okay, so we've got 3 complete addresses. The next instruction before you go into stamp is to save this as a CSV file, not as an XLS or any spreadsheet file. It has to be a CSV file because that is the file that Stamp, the website, can recognize, okay? Save as. Okay, because I'm using an online application, it actually won't let me save as a CSV file, but I'm going to download a copy of this onto my computer and it will save as an XLSX file. But what I can do afterwards is open OpenOffice. OpenOffice is free. You don't need to pay for it like as you would with Microsoft Office. Okay. Open. And OpenOffice is not called Excel, it's called Calculator. So I am gonna open what I just downloaded. It's this one. This is the address that we just entered. Okay, happy days. Let's just delete these ones that we won't be using because it might confuse Stamp. I'm gonna save it as, and if you save it as a CSV, it will automatically only save that sheet, that active sheet. Okay, so I'm just gonna call this Rotherham exercise. exercise. Mali pa yung spelling. Character set. Let me just press OK. Only the active sheet was saved. Yes, that's what we want. Okay. So let's close that for the time being because I want to show you what land registry looks like. So in case the landlord has given you a specific instruction to not do a generic home seller in the first and last name, but to actually go on to land registry. Start now. What you will need, let's use 9 Mowbray Place as an example. And the postcode is this. I'm just going to show you the first two steps. I'm not actually going to order this, the title on this property, okay? Because what I want to show you is that it's very, very simple. So house name or number and then the postcode. And if you click on search, then you will see this on your screen. Title register, title plan, flood risk. The only thing you need to order is the title register because the title register will show you the name that's on the title for this property, number 9 Mowbray Place, Rotherham. I'm not actually going to purchase it today, but I just want to show you what you need to do next. You need to click on purchase. And at this point, it is assumed that because the landlord wants you to actually order and he's happy to pay for this order, then he will have had created an account and he will give you details to log in to this account and all the payment will have been set up for you, okay? So you click on login and etc. So this is just like ordering anything off the internet. You have your username and password, okay? What does the land registry title look like and where might you find the information? I can show you on Google. Example, land registry title. It will not look like this fancy looking thing. It will actually look like something like this. You know what? I'm going to show you one of the titles that we have on our property. So this is what you will actually see. Of course, it will be for a different address, so a different title, but this is what the copy of register will look like. I'm not sure if this is our title or if this was the old title of the previous owner. I think it's the one of the previous owner. So what we've got here is this whole lots of words, property register, etc., proprietorship register. Okay, this is where you'll find the details of the owner. And it says here, this address is owned by Barry Simmons. Okay, this is the address of where Barry Simmons lives. Now, if this person, Barry Simmons, is an investor, a landlord, the property that we were looking at might not actually be the address where you can contact the owner. The landlord will clarify if he wants you to send to both addresses, just in case Barry lives in both this address and the other address that he's selling, okay? So it will be a good idea to actually just contact them both. So Mr. Barry Simmons, who lives in number 1 Walkmill Close, Upton, Pontefract, West Yorkshire. There's no postcode, so you're going to have to find a postcode. He is the title owner, okay? Title absolute. He is the owner of this property. That's all you need to know. This is what will cost £3 for the landlord. For £3, he will get a copy of this register of the title of this property, and you as the VA data scraping will be able to know whose name you can put on your spreadsheet. So then if that were the case, we can type in here, for example, Barry Simmons. Okay, let's, for as an example, that Barry Simmons was the name that we uncovered using the land registry title purchase. Okay, so but obviously it's not, but this is just as an example. So that's how you do sold subject to contract. Depending on the area and depending on the filtering criteria that the landlord or the investor has given you to use to search for the property, you might have as little as 8 properties to data scrape, or you might have as many as 300 or more. Okay, so this is an exercise that's step by step. You can do everything on the internet and data scrape and then produce something that the landlord has asked you to do. So you've got a CSV file. We'll go through probate and unsold at auction, and then what we'll do is go on to stamp, and I will show you the steps on how to upload these addresses and what it will look like just before you order the letters to be sent out. Okay, each strategy will have a different kind of letter template. I will email all these letters to you, including, as I did, this spreadsheet with all the details in there that the landlord will be giving you some instruction and that you will be using to enter all the data that you're scraping.